Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 461 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday along life's trail, we will dig for the nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. Today, we will explore the second half of chapter 21. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. We are starting to settle into our routine here after consolidating households. Between the falling leaves, fallen branches from a heavy storm last week, unpacking of our household items, and our normal client work, we have plenty to keep us busy each day. The leaves continue to change and then fall from the trees as the temperatures cool down to their normal autumn range. The deer, woodpeckers, squirrels, and hawks that we see out of our windows are preparing for the coming winter. In the same manner, we need to prepare for each changing season of our lives. In every season of life, we need to seek wisdom, insight, and understanding, both from God's Word and from other wise individuals. Let us not forget our own preparations as we break camp for our trek for today, and let's explore the nuggets of wisdom found in the second half of Proverbs 21, where we will learn, among other things, to watch your tongue. So let's start in verse 17. Those who love pleasure become poor. Those who love wine and luxury will never be rich. While there is nothing wrong with occasionally relaxing and enjoying the pleasures of life, if it becomes our focus to the detriment of our work, then it will lead to poverty. In the same manner, if we are consumed with vices and things instead of impacting the lives of others, we will never become wealthy. Verse 18. The wicked are punished in the place of the godly, and traitors in place of the honest. There are certain precepts and practices that we must adhere to that are in accordance with God's Word. If we choose not to, then we will suffer the consequences of our choices. If we choose to live godly and honestly, then we will be rewarded for those choices. Verse 19. It is better to live alone in the desert than with a quarrelsome, complaining wife. While the context of this verse references a quarrelsome and complaining wife, it is equally true of a husband. While I do not have personal experience with this issue, I have seen couples that are so negative and choose to argue all the time. I can only imagine that it would be easier to live alone than in a contentious marriage. Verse 20. The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get. The reason the wise do have wealth and luxury is that they are frugal and prudent in their spending habits. When we honestly analyze our lives and our spending habits, it is evident that there are very few true needs in our life. Most of what we have are wants. The difference is that the fool spends all that they earn, and they do not invest or save any of their money. Many will even go into debt for that which is not necessary. In doing so, they will be perpetually poor. Verse 21. Whoever pursues righteousness and unfailing love will find life, righteousness, and honor. What we think about is what we pursue. When it is in line with God's precepts, such as living right and with unconditional love for others, we will live the rich and satisfying life. Verse 22. The wise conquer the city of the strong, and they level the fortress in which they trust. A wise person understands that human strongholds will never fully protect or bring peace. The wise will live with victory in their lives and confound or thwart those who think that they are strong within themselves. The strong try to rely on their riches, which they think is their fortress. Verse 23. Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. Many times in the book of Proverbs, Solomon warns us about talking too much or when it is not appropriate. This is an obvious trait that many struggle with. Here we are encouraged to watch what we say and preferably not to speak unless it is needed. If we do this, we will stay out of trouble that we might otherwise experience. Verse number 24. Mockers are proud and haughty. They act with boundless arrogance. Those who mock God and others who are made in their image show their pride and arrogance. They are so wrapped up in themselves that it consumes them. Verse number 25. Despite the desires, the lazy will come to ruin, for their hands refuse to work. The laws of planting and harvesting are once again evident in this verse. Those who are poor desire to be wealthy, but they are so unmotivated and lazy that they ruin themselves. If a person chooses not to work, they will never see their outlook change. Verse number 26. Some people are always greedy for more, but the godly love to give. You can tell what a person is truly like by their generosity to others. Some are stingy and selfish, and their lives are generally poor in both wealth and their outlook on life. On the other hand, when you see a person who loves to help others both materially and physically, their lives will reflect true riches in both areas also. Verse number 27. The sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it is offered with wrong motives. This is tied somewhat to the previous verse. If a person's heart is not loving for others, even when they do share their wealth, it is of no value because it is offered with wrong motives. Verse number 28. The false witness will be cut off, but a credible witness will be allowed to speak. In a proper hearing of a court of law or in a debate, a person who is speaking lies should not be allowed to continue. Contrary to this, a person who speaks truth will be allowed to continue with their testimony. Verse number 29. The wicked bluff their way through, but the virtuous think before they act. It is soon evident when a person really doesn't know what they're talking about. They are hasty in their decisions and often are making mistakes and failing. An honorable person thinks and then plans before taking action so that their chances of success are greatly increased. In the final two verses, verses 30 and 31, no human wisdom or understanding or plan can stand against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. These last two verses are connected in their message. God is in control, and no amount of human scheming, planning, and effort will stand if not permitted by God. Although we should plan and prepare, it should be done with wisdom, insight, and understanding. Even with our best efforts, God will ultimately control the outcome of our plans. The nuggets of wisdom that we have gathered in verses 17 through 31 of Proverbs chapter 21 provide us with the tasty morsels of wisdom, insight, and understanding. Regardless of your faith walk, if the precepts and Proverbs are followed, your life will be rich and satisfying. Take them and plant them in your heart so that you'll reap a harvest of goodness in your life. Tomorrow we will hike another short trail on our Wisdom Unplugged series where we will discover an inspirational wisdom quote. So encourage your family and friends to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. I would also challenge you to take one precept that you learned today from Proverbs and commit yourself to applying it to your own life. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com, and thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.